understand that emotional intelligence is not the opposite of intelligence. It is not the triumph of heart over head. It is the unique intersection of both. On that positive note, I request Ma'am, Ruchika Ma'am, to come and welcome our guests and audience. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Diksha. Honorable Professor N.K. Chadha ji, our teacher in charge, Dr. Nelema, distinguished teachers of University of Delhi, all my dear colleagues, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. And it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the webinar on emotional intelligence by none other than a tremendously gifted person with a broad vision and strong commitments, a dynamic academician, an amazing career consultant, and in short, I would say a teacher, a mentor, and a real guru. Yes, we have Professor N.K. Chadha with us today. Sir, we are indeed honored to have you here with us in Ramjas College. I welcome you on behalf of Ramjas College, on behalf of department, and on my own behalf to this webinar. And I'm also grateful to you for giving your precious time for us today. I also request students to pay attention and learn these life lessons to achieve heights in your life. Thank you very much. Over to you, Diksha.
Thank you, ma'am. Due to some serious important meetings, our principal sir and vice principal sir could not join this webinar, but have sent their best wishes and will be joining us shortly. Now, the wait is finally over, and we have our guest speaker with us, Professor Dr. N.K. Chadha, sir, who was the former professor and head of Department of Psychology at University of Delhi, former director and head at Department of Adult Continuing Education and Extension, and chairman, Board of Research Studies in Humanities and Social Sciences at University of Delhi. For 5 consecutive years, he was the panel of judge for PM's Trophy for the Steel Industry and the Task Force member of Performance Management Division of Cabinet Secretariat at Government of India. He was the senior consultant to UNDP on career development. Sir has been teaching in the Department of Psychology at University of Delhi since 1982. He has authored several books which are used as textbooks in many universities in India and abroad at undergraduate, postgraduate, and research levels. Some of the publications are Applied Psychometry, Think Before Getting Grey, Recruitment and Selection, Organizational Behavior, Human Resource Management, and many more. And recently published bestseller book in Changing Your Employability. He has also co-authored the book with John Dan, University of Kentucky, USA, entitled Social Aging in a Delhi Neighborhood. He has been conducting many ongoing research projects with foreign universities and has carried out a number of major interdisciplinary and collaborative projects. He has published more than 150 articles in various scientific national and international journals, which are often quoted by other researchers. He is on the management bodies of many institutes in India and abroad. He was invited by the UN to attend experts group meeting held in UN headquarters on family issues. Sir has traveled extensively and lectured in UK, USA, Spain, Sweden, Germany, France, Canada, New Zealand, and many parts of the globe. He is involved in development of standardized psychometrical tests for many multinational companies and public sector companies for the purpose of recruitment and selection of middle and higher management levels. He has developed many psychological instruments for assessment at the individual and group level for the purpose of research and selection of best career for an individual. He is one of the leading psychometricians in India, and his book on applied psychometry is widely used by the students and practitioners of psychological assessment in India and abroad. Sir is the president of Indian Career Development Association and also the president of Indian Association of Positive Psychology. He is also the past president of the Asia Pacific Career Development Association, USA. Sir has been awarded the National Career Development Association USA Presidential Award on the 28th June 2017 at Orlando, USA, and Global Practitioner of the Year 2015 on the 13th June 2015 during the annual conference held at Denver, USA. Recently awarded Lifetime Achievement was the Asia Pacific Career Development Association during its annual meeting held on 22nd May 2019 at White Now. He has been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award in Psychology and subsequently in Psychometry. Sir is the leading practitioner in the area of career and counseling and widely consulted by large number of schools and corporate worldwide. He has been known to be the leading corporate trainer for the development of soft life skills at various levels of multinational companies as well as leading schools. Member of many public and private universities for recruitment of faculty at various levels in search committees for talent hunts. Recently, Sir has taken the responsibility of President, International Career Coach Association, Maryland, USA. He is the Chief Psychometrician, Handler, and also the Advisor cum Chief Psychometrician, Wellness Mandala. It is our privilege, sir, to have you here in Ramjas. Now I invite you to please enlighten our students and all of us with your knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to all the participants and my colleague from University of Delhi. So I'm saying good morning, Young. At this moment, this is 7:30 a.m. over here in US from where I'm speaking to you. That's I know it's good evening back in India, in my country. And let me first say on the onset, thanks to the organizers for inviting me today and adjusting my time with their time. I know it's 5 p.m. over there, it's the end of the day, but to have compatibility with my time, so nice of you for making this at 5 p.m. so that comfortably I can join in the morning. So
It's a pleasure, sir.
let me share one information with you that if I'm not wrong, I think this talk has been organized under IQAC by the Department of Mathematics. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm saying, let me share. You know, I was a student of mathematics myself. Let me share with you. I've done MSc Mathematics from Delhi University, then into psychology. So my line of going to psychology go through mathematics. So whenever I got an invitation, I think every year I have been talking with the Mathematics Association. I feel I told people. Another Diksha have given my introduction. They asked me to give a profile. I sent the profile. I thought she will just give my profile, give my name, and just maybe about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, she will just tell about me, former from Delhi University. That will be enough. But she narrated a couple of things about me. And in the process, what she did, psychologically, as a psychologist, we interpret that she increased the level of expectation of the participant from the speaker. When you listen so much about the speaker, his or her achievement, blah, 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 all of this across the globe, all that kind of things, that means what you're doing indirectly, you're trying to raise the level of expectation of the speaker, and hence making my task a little difficult by that. In the sense, I cannot start from the bottom now. Because what she did, she picked me, Diksha picked me from the floor and brought me somewhere here, then left. So that, no, I have to start from here onward. I cannot go below this level. And dear organizers and my dear students, I will try to justify the expectation raised by her by sharing some of the slides, which will be, I'm sure, will be very useful. This topic is very, very burning topic these days across the globe. A lot of sessions I keep on doing in US also, back in India also, about emotional intelligence. And it's very important for each one of us to learn how emotional intelligence, what emotional intelligence is, first of all. And I will define it in very, very simple, not giving any jargon of language, words to explain. I will just explain you very simplified. Then we'll tell you why we need it, how EQ is different than IQ. Till now, we have been talking about psychology, have been very fond of talking about intellectual quotient, IQ. And now shifted the domain to the emotional intelligence, how the emotional intelligence is different than the IQ. Once we understand the difference between emotional intelligence and IQ, then I will try to talk to you that how EQ is useful in our day-to-day life. So you will see in all walks of life, and whatever I'm presenting over here is based on the scientific empirical evidence behind it. It's not just my observation. My observations are important. It's not the observations are not important. Observations are important. Gut feelings are important. But I will try to present in that fashion. Then how you can identify someone? How you can identify yourself? First of all, identify yourself, whether you're on a high EQ or a low EQ level, which level you are there. If you stay on a high EQ level, what kind of personality can be crystallized? What kind of personality traits you develop in you? If it's a low EQ, then what kind of negative or the personality which can affect our day-to-day functioning? Once there, then at the end, we will talk, can this be developed? If yes, then how this can be developed? I will give you few tips, definitely. They'll say, I do a workshop, which is entire day workshop. That's not because I have to consume everything within 1 hour, but I will justify my presence with you for an hour or so. And in the process, I know the group is large. It's not possible for the organizer have not given you the freedom to unmute and say something at this moment. Maybe, I don't know, maybe at the end they will give you that permission. At this moment, I find the permission not with you. Henceforth, what I'm doing, I'm just keeping my chat box open. And one side, I will be seeing my chat box so that if you have any question, any issue, feel free to raise that issue during the talk.
Sir, I think it has been muted from your side.
It's okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Because when initially I joined, I tried to unmute myself. It was not possible. You allow me to get mute or unmute myself. Anyway, so what we will start initially, let's have little activity. I want you to be not a passive listener. I want you to be active listener. Active listener. I want to ensure myself, my people with whom I'm talking in this moment in front of me, they are actively involved with me. So for that, I have designed few activity, very small activity, very interesting activity, absolutely non-threatening activity. I'm not going to evaluate anyone in this. That's not my intention at all. Okay, but I will give you little activity, and so that let's see how you respond to that. And I will ask you a small question which you can answer on the chat, and I will see from the chat your answer and then pick up myself on that. So just for a fraction, Here is my. Okay. Let's start. Let's begin with identifying significant emotions which generally we see in people we interact most often in our surroundings. So let's see some emotions which try to recognize and in the people around, in the people, when I'm saying people, it could be your classmates, could be your teacher, could be your parents, could be your friends, could be your neighbor, could be people traveling with you on the metro. So wherever, any walk of life, let's identify some. And here is a picture which I'm just putting in front of you. I'm sure you recognize this face, very popular media face. This face is expressing what? What do you think this face is expressing? What comes to your mind? 4 options in front of you. Again, I'm saying I'm not evaluating anyone. It's absolutely non-threatening. Take it non-threatening. Just whatever comes to your mind after seeing this face, I just want to know what you think this face is expressing. Happiness? What are the 4 options? Somebody said fake smile. No. I'm looking, there are 4 options I've given you. I want you to pick one option. Happiness, politeness. Don't shy. Come on. You are active listener, I know. Interest, politeness, face hiding sadness with smile, but this option is not there. Please pick the option. Concentrate on eyelids and lips. Concentrate on eyelids and lips. I think then you will get the answer. You will reach near to the answer. Concentrate on the eyelids and lips. Here are the 2 facial expressions scientifically recognized which shows this face expressing. This face is expressing happiness. Eyelids, muscles tighten around eyes, watching of lower eyelid. Legs, corners pulled up. So whenever lips are showing where they are pulled up, or the corners of the lips, or the muscles tighten around eyes, this is an indication of happiness. This is global. Never mind. Let's have one more trial with another picture in front of you. This face expressing what? Shame, amusement, sadness, embarrassment. This face is expressing what? Internalized. No, internalize yourself. Then externalize for others. Sadness, amusement, amusement, great, come on, embarrassment, sadness, concentrate on head and lips, head and lips, amusement, embarrassment, 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 amusement. I said concentrate on head and lips. This face, yeah, many of you could identify, great. But when you identify it, also think from a perspective, what are the elements on your face which give you a message? It's an amusement or it's an embarrassment, whatever you came. So think from that point of view. The learning very much, you can find it easy to recognize the faces, yours as well as of the other people, your co-worker, your senior. This face is showing embarrassment and as I say, head and lips, two elements where moves down and to the side. Could be right, it could be left also. Lips pressed together and corners turned up slightly. That's the message. This kind of face is showing embarrassment. Should we try one more? Anyone? Should we try one more? Presuming your answer is yes. Yes, I got yes. Let's see this face. This face expressing what? Compassion, sadness, anger, interest. Once you identify, please also try to identify the element on the face which gives you that indication. Anger, anger. Think over it. When you say anger, do you make this kind of face expression when you are under anger? Is it like this? Then the answer will be much easier for you. Sadness, interest. Just concentrate on eyebrows, head, and lips. Eyebrows, head, and lips. Yeah, you are coming near to the answer. I can see some names are coming. Compassion, compassion. Let's see the answer. This face is showing compassion. Due to eyebrows pulled in and up, head tilt towards slightly, and lips pressed together. So this face is showing compassion. See the eyebrows. Again, I'm saying this is the across globe research which indicates the face with these elements of eyebrows, heads, and lips are indicative of compassion. Let's have one more. Now you have started the journey. It's a third picture you have seen. Let's see how the journey ends up. The journey can be longer than what I've just given you. Oh, this face expressing what? Fear, interest, surprise, compassion. Surprise, surprise. I'm just reading from the chat. Surprise, surprise, fear, fear, surprise. Come on. You have started your journey, of identifying these emotions. It's a good beginning to my mind. Surprise, surprise. Shock is not the option. Please pick the option given by you. If I'm correct, what I saw on the chat at this moment, I think 85% or 90% of you identify the emotion as surprise, with 10% fear. 90%, 85% approximately, if I make a mathematical correct calculation of the data which came on the chat, I think 85%. And let me tell you, you are accurate. You're accurate. This face is showing surprise. Now I want to think for next 30 seconds, what are the elements of the face which indicate you this face is showing surprise? What are those? The judgment is, evaluation is right. What is that? Wide open eyes, mouth, eyes and mouth. Good. Come on. Eyebrows. Come on. You are right. It's eyes and mouth. The two elements. Excellent. I really love talking to you. You're so alert and started the journey very well. Eyes, eyebrows, and upper eyelids. Eyes and mouth open as jaw drops. Excellent. No, internalized. What happened? You started with the first one. When the first one, all possibilities were put on the chat by you. And the degree of accuracy, if you see, starting from the first to the fourth picture, reached to the 89 or 90% accuracy. Why this happened? I hope you will agree with me, because now you are in tune with the journey. You started the journey. You are in the motion now, in identifying the emotions. Start from your own emotions, first of all. And then you will see what emotion, what kind of wonders the emotions can do. Where the emotion can take us in the process. Let's move. Let's see what emotions are. Emotions are nothing but internal conscious state that we infer in our self-thoughts. Are the internal emotion state, conscious state. I'm putting word conscious. Consciously we infer in the eyelids, the head, the eyebrows, the mouth. And then we try to infer in ourselves and the other. The two, emotions are private experiences. That's private, personal experiences. Okay, it's a private experience. The feelings are what one experiences as the result of having emotions. The consequence of the emotions are the feelings. We use operation definition. See, this point is very important. We use operation definition because we cannot actually see emotions. They are internal. And we infer. Observable behavior, what we see, we infer from there. We see eyelids, we see mouth, we see head. That we can see. But it's a compassion or surprise or fear or whatever. So only we make prediction from what we see, what is observable, what can we see. We make emotions. And what emotional intelligence is? Emotional intelligence is intelligent use of emotions. How intelligently you can use and take advantage of your emotions in day-to-day life. You will see emotional intelligence, emotions will help you to climb the ladder of life much easier. And how to go about it? Shortly, I will come. Emotional intelligence is about being heart smart, not just look smart. What did you say? What is expressed? Somebody asking, please provide recording. I think organizer will provide. You can ask the organizer, but PPT, I will definitely share my PPT with you at the end. No problem. You can take it. I will give to the organizer and they can share with you if you're interested. That's not a problem for you. Okay. So emotional intelligence is about being heart smart, not just look smart. It's not just 6 feet height or dress is important. It's important, you know, how you dress up yourself. That's important. I'm not saying that's not important. But whatever you say, the other person should take it seriously. Try to understand your perspective. Emotional intelligence is not being nice all the time. Okay? But be honest with your emotions. Emotional intelligence is not being nice all the time, but honest with yourself. Emotional intelligence is not being touchy feeling. It's about being aware of your feelings and those of the other. Again, I'm bringing elements. If you see it repeatedly, I'm bringing the concept of yourself, feeling of your and of others. So you and others. Others can be your friend, you can be your parents, can be your teachers, anyone in your environment with whom or how you interact. Emotional intelligence, not being emotional, it is about being smart with your emotions. Not being emotional, but it's being smart with your emotions. That's the emotional intelligence. And simplified definition I'm providing you. Emotional intelligence, just listen to this and take a note of this. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your emotions, again, you, self, understand what they are telling you. Recognize your emotions, understanding what these emotions are telling you, and realize how your emotions affect the people around you. Okay? So 3 things: recognizing your emotions, what the emotions, what kind of message given to you, and realizing how your emotions can affect the people around you, anyone around you, your co-worker. When you join, young people go and join the jobs, you know, the co-worker. Thus, making further more simplified, there are 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness, self-management. Self-awareness, understanding self, knowing what you are, what your intentions are, where you would like to go, where you want to see yourself 10 years, 5 years down the line, or 15 years down the line. What path or what journey would you like to take? So understanding it and then management of that. The third element component is social. The third quadrant, social awareness, means about others. And based on self-awareness and social awareness, concluding building a relationship, compatibility, relationship management. So there are 4 elements: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. how you built up the relationship, how you built up the networking. Networking is very important. I think which I advocate over here, US, networking is very important to go up the ladder. It's not an active terminology. Believe me, when I was in India, one of the day, I got an invitation from one of my friend who was a state election commissioner. The invitation came for the dinner, and invitation card is mentioned over there, networking. You have been invited on blah blah date. Will play this place at 7:30 onward for a networking, 7:30 to 11 p.m. for a networking dinner. Networking dinner. And this is coming invitation from a very senior bureaucrat to me. I never heard this terminology that time. I'm talking way back in 27 or 28, 2007. Somewhere, yeah, 7 or 8. I never heard this terminology, networking dinner, Invitation dinner on some function, some party, some culture festivals, one can understand, but network. I called him to ask, what is this? Networking. This is new terminology for me. He said, we about 50 friends are meeting together on a dinner. And these friends are from various walks of life, some academicians, some bureaucrats, some judiciary, some business people, and we are having a fun for 3-4 hours and meeting and interacting with each other. That is the intention of this dinner. I said, but networking terminology. He said, ultimately, intention is to network. Why to hide it? Why not to put in the front? No, this terminology becomes very effective terminology in the social gathering. So the knowing other people from others. So networking, so that you build up, you understand them and build up. The 4 elements of social emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social management. What are they? Question comes, what do I need to become successful? Should I need high IQ or should I need high EQ? A high IQ rating does not guarantee success. It's not. Academically brilliant people can be socially and interpersonally inept. You must have seen some people, they're gifted academically, 99 percentile, 95 percentile, but they don't know how to be sociable with others. They don't know how to build up interpersonal relationships. And out of control emotions can make intelligent people act like dumb. They are intelligent people, but they fail to use or understand the emotions, or they look like dumb. In fact, they are not dumb. IQ contributes only 20% success in life, only 20%. That is, EQ is 4 times more important key factor for success than IQ. So EQ is more important factor. Why? Subsequent slide, I will talk to you. So EQ is not equal to IQ. And what is the difference? Just let's spend about 3, 4, 5 minutes on this slide. IQ helps you get into the job. You are a student of Delhi University, of a Ramjas college, one of the premier institutes known for its excellence. You are a student of SRCC. You are a student of IIT. That degree, that qualification, that percentage may get you job. May get you job. But if you want to succeed at job, then emotional intelligence is needed. Emotional intelligence will help you. I hope you will agree with me Say, for example, if I'm a CEO of a company and alumni of the Ramjas College, definitely I love to come and pick student from Ramjas College. Because it's a premium institute, I qualified, I find it have name in the market. I hire you on a good package. But suppose, no, you have been hired in my company and you don't perform. You are a very poor team builder. You don't know how to act and take advantage of the emotions of yours and others to the benefit of the organization. You don't contribute to my organization. I'm paying, say, for example, a package of 2 lakh or 3 lakh per month. So you are from Ramjas. You are an academically great institute. You have a high IQ. But you don't perform. You think I'm going to retain you after that? IQ had given you, helped you in getting in. But if you don't succeed, if you don't produce for me, if I pay 3 lakh, if you don't return me by 5 lakh or 6 lakh, I'm not doing a charity. I'm not going to keep you, irrespective from which institute you are. Institute is important. I'm not denying it. But success will come from your emotional, under stress, feeding on the job. Like IQ measures of ability to learn or understand. That is IQ. And EQ measures ability to use your emotions and logical skills. Application side. Teacher taught you topic. You learn it. That's your IQ. But how you apply in the real setting, that's your emotional intelligence. IQ, trying to convince someone by facts. You can provide me mathematical facts, the figure, data, that's your IQ. But you try to convince me by reasoning is your emotional intelligence. Getting clear? IQ is trying to convince someone by facts and figures. EQ, trying to convince someone by reasoning. IQ, being at the mercy of emotions because you don't understand them. You don't understand them. And that means you are at the mercy of the emotions. And EQ, understanding and managing emotions are using them for good reasons, good purpose. IQ is not focus. Look smart. EQ, you're heard smart. IQ gets you through the school. School means college, the university. It's not only elementary or high senior secondary school I'm talking. IQ will get you through the job, through the schools, through the education institution. But EQ gets you through the life. It's a lifespan perspective. It's not confining to only your percentage and degrees. I hope it's clear. You first make it clear the difference between IQ and EQ. IQ helps you to get into the job. EQ will help you to succeed at job. IQ measures your ability to learn and understand, where EQ is the measure of ability to use your emotions and logical skills. IQ, convincing someone by facts and figures, trying to convince EQ by reasoning. Being at the mercy under IQ of your emotions, and EQ, understanding, managing emotions and using them for the good purpose. IQ, you look smart. EQ, you heard smart. IQ will help me in getting through the school, but EQ will help me in get through the life. Our focus is not only short-term, focus is long-term. So IQ basically having a long-term focus. Am I clear?
Sir.
Okay. Why EQ is needed? This is very important slide for you. Listen next. When you have not achieved all you factor you both, you require high EQ. When pressure seems to be ever present and growing, lot of assignments, lot of work, homework has been done by teachers, pressure building up to help you to take the pressure, is high EQ is required for that. When you know you can do better, but you don't know how. Sometimes you must be having feeling, I can do better, still I can do, but how to do it? I can score better, I can keep better, but how? It's high emotional intelligence will help you with the answer. When you feel that your boss, your teacher does not understand you, your parents don't understand you. What I'm saying, why my parents are not? Many times a conflict between parents as the generation conflicts are there. To handle that, you require high EQ. When subordinates, the people who work under you, obey you, don't seem to work and take initiative. You have to push them. You have to, each point, you have to do spoon feeding. They're not taking initiative. How to handle, you require high emotional intelligence. When you feel low and don't know how to handle it comes in the life of everyone. Sometimes you get up in the morning and you start feeling low that day. You don't know the reason. You're not interested in your breakfast, you're not interested in your class, you're interested to talk with friends, something. To understand the state, to help you to come out from the state, is high emotional intelligence required. So once again, when you have not achieved all you factor you would, when pressures seem to be ever present and growing, when you, these are daily situations, when you know you can do better, but you don't know how to do it, when you feel that your boss, your teacher, your parents, whatever, that understand you, when subordinates don't seem to work and take initiative, when you feel low and don't know how to handle it. Plus, when your income is not that high as others, you're not earning to that high level with others. To help to come out from there, help to grow that, it's required. When you are not being promoted with the readiness and speed, you deserve that work. You're hardworking. You think you deserve the promotion. You're going up the ladder. You're not. To handle that situation, you require high IQ needed. When you have new responsibilities that stretch you to your limits, new assignments, new limits are coming, new responsibilities are falling on you. The family, friend, co-workers, whatever, you know. When you generally feel a little out of place in this world, and when you need to think out of the box. Under these circumstances, situations of real life, you require high EQ is needed, is required. See, all these situations, circumstances are daily experience of us, which we tend to ignore. Sometimes we say, I don't bother. I've seen people as a psychologist, they come to my chamber, I say, I don't bother for him or her. What you said, say it again. I don't care. Putting a lot of pressure. Don't. The amount of pressure indicates me that this person care. This person has more concern. That's bothering the person. Sometimes people have the tendency of, you must have, maybe some of you must have been, when you're undergraduate, you just hit the table, hit the chair. I don't bother my teacher. Don't give marks, it's okay. The more you put pressure, the more you are concerned, you are linked with that. No, here are the characteristics of high IQ person. No, think about you. Be honest with yourself. Okay. Who is a high IQ person? A high IQ person is that person who knew when there is a time to be aggressive, when there is a time to be passive. Who can differentiate between when to be aggressive, when to be passive? The person who can differentiate between a time to be together, a time to be alone. Who can differentiate between a time to fight, a time to love, a time to work, a time to play. Play is also important, study is also important. Who can differentiate? It's not that all the time study, study, study. Sometimes parents put a pressure, study, study, all the time study. But who can differentiate between when is the time to study and when is the time to play? When is the time to cry and when is the time to laugh? Who can differentiate? A time to confront with someone, a time to confront with your teacher maybe, time to confront with your parents maybe, but not all the time. A time to confront, a time to withdraw. When to withdraw from that scene. That these are the characteristics of a high EQ person. A time to speak and a time to silent. A time to hurry, a time to wait. These are the characteristics of a 8 characteristics I've given you of a high EQ person. Now, my request to you, be honest with yourself. Just put yourself. Have a sheet of paper if you have. Just put on a sheet of paper. Is it you are a person who know, who can differentiate a time to be aggressive, a time to be passive? Yes or no? Number 1, yes or no. Put yes, and Y or N. Just think over it. A time to, are you like this? Who are aware when to be together, when to be, don't shy evaluating yourself. You are the, I say self-awareness is important thing. Once you know about self, you can manage it. Once you know accurately, as much as possible, about 70-80% journey you have covered. Just think on the parameters about you. If you don't want to think about you, first, though I want to think about you and identify yes or no, is it there or not in you? And see how many yes you are getting, how many no you are getting it. Or if really you are concerned for any friend of yours, any person from the social environment, keep that person in front of you. Keep that person in front of you and identify that person on these 8 parameters and see how many yes you get, how many. Just take 30 seconds time. Not a compulsion to evaluate, but if you like, you can. After 30 seconds, I will take back. If you like, you can just put how many yes you got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, whatever. You can write just. Okay, okay. This was just for you just to have a little introspection about you based on this. So maybe you can do, if not now, you can do later on whenever you feel like. But if you don't want to do, freedom is you only. Okay. So these are the characteristics. Let's see what are the characteristics of low EQ. Sorry, one thing more. Let me tell you. If you have a 7 or 8 yes, that means you are a high EQ person. 7 or 8. If you have 5 or 6 yes, that means it's a moderate. If 5 and 6 are moderate, 3 and 4 are low emotional intelligence, and 1 and 2, really you have to work hard. Don't shy working hard. You can. I'll tell you whether you challenge, you can question me anytime. You can if you put little effort. Some few short efforts I will give you at the end. Some points I will give you. Be honest with yourself. It's you. It's concerned to you. Your skill. It's your success, not my success. My success will come when your success will come. When you succeed, it gives you me a sense of satisfaction. Oh, it's good I spend the morning for my people. It helped my children. So that's, keep in mind. Now, what are the cases of low EQ person? That also you must know. Cases the low EQ person are, if only I had a different job. If only I would have joined a CEO rather than a university as assistant or associate professor. If only I had a different job. Complaining, whatever you have. If only I had finished university from Harvard. If only I had been handsome, beautiful. If only my spouse had stopped drinking or smoking. If only I had been born rich in wealth. If only I had better parents than what I have. If only I had married someone else. The person who keep on complaining, whatever he or she got, is not satisfied with that. Always saying, if only I had been this thing, if only I had been this thing. And whatever has been present, is not taking advantage of that. These are the indicators of a person, low EQ person. If anyone who has this tendency, my request to you, think over it, change it. You can make a change. Nobody else can make a change. I can't make a change for you. I can just tell you. But efforts come to be from your side. If you stay on high EQ, then your personality will be crystallized like consequence of low EQ. If you stay, if only I had that kind of approach, then it will bring anger, failure, fear, disappointment, frustration, obligation, guilt, resentment, emptiness, victimization, bitterness, dependence, depression, loneliness, instability, and lethargy in you. And this personality will be crystallized, become harder and harder. So this is the right time, I would say, to start with the journey. Any time is the right time. It's not only this even, but it's better we start with the journey. If you are on high EQ, the characteristics which I've given you can differentiate between A and B, active and passive, crying and laugh, etc., etc. Then the personality crystallized would be motivation, appreciation, handiness, self-control, satisfaction, freedom, fulfillment, autonomy, peace, desire, awareness, contentment, focus, elation, happiness, and balance. These are the consequences. They are the outcomes. Your personality automatically will shift, will get modified to the positivity. And you have been listening these days, a lot of talk on positive mindset. Goes here. So develop those. to develop to have a better emotional intelligence so that personality can be, and you can be successful in your journey. How to identify, another small checklist for you. How to identify an emotionally intelligent person, put the person to think about it. Is he a good listener or she is a good listener? Is he knows what to say and how to say so that others are not offended or upset? Can he or she make others feel good? Can he or she masters at emotions, managing own emotions? Excellent decision maker, knows when to trust his or her intuition. Intuitions are important, when to trust, when not to trust. Not all the time going by intuitions. And knows how to use criticism to improve the performance. This is another checklist I'm providing you, handy checklist, so that you can identify a person with whom interacting, whether this person, because I give you 4 elements: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, these others, so that you can manage your relation, build up your relation, long-term relation with that person. In short, people with high emotional intelligence are usually successful in most things they do. The crux just is that the people with high emotional intelligence are usually normally successful in most things they do. Good news. What is that? It's possible to become emotional intelligent. It's possible to become emotional intelligent. Then how? Let me manage my emotion and not let my emotions manage me. This is mantra. Let me manage my emotions, not allow my emotion to manage me. I manage it. And when management will come, when we understand it. So I've given you the elements by which you can identify characteristics which you have in front of you. Okay, can be managed, can be developed. Yes. Number 1, becoming emotional intelligence. Number 1, observe how you react to people. Number 1, observe how you react to people. Again, I'm repeating, people can be any people from any walks of life, starting from home to college to workplace, social gathering, mall, wherever. Observe how you react to people. Make honest observations. This will become your lifestyle. Human mind is very flexible. You can adjust and mold the way you want to mold it. If you start feeding yourself lunch at 1 p.m. every day, you will find it difficult to stay hungry after 1:10, 1:50, 1:30. You feel the need for hunger. But you shift that to 3 p.m., you can experiment yourself. You'll find you will not feel the need for a food at 1 p.m. You will only at 3 p.m. It's that flexible. The example I've given you, you can try it. So return back to me, it works or not. So observe how you react to people. That is, do you rush to judgment before you know all of the facts? Is it that you immediately go to judgment about a person A, B, just seeing him, just talking with him, without knowing all the facts? Do you stereotypes about gender, about race, or religion? Do you stereotype? Observe it. Look honestly at how you think and interact with other people. It's easy to blame others, but think how you interact. And try to put yourself in their place and be more open and accepting of their perspective and needs. Put yourself in that place. Accept their perspective. That help you in your development of the emotional intelligence which we are talking. Just last more than 1 hour. So observe how you react to people. Second point, look at your work environment. Do you seek attention for your accomplishment? Gratification immediately? You're done, you want the teacher should say, bravo, bravo, great, appreciate you for your accomplishment. Is it like this? Humility can be a wonderful quality, but it does not mean that you are shy or lack of self-confidence. People relate humility with lack of self. It's not that. It's a good quality. Give others a chance to shine. Allow others. Allow your friends. Put the focus on them. Don't worry too much about getting praise for yourself. Praise will come automatically. Allow other people to shine. Put the focus on them. Don't worry about getting praise for yourself. The praise for yourself will come. Look at your work environment in the surrounding where you work. In this, when it's a work environment, you can make work environment not only classroom, you can see your family also. There also you work. You have a responsibility of a couple of things. Do a self-evaluation with honesty. Honesty, I'm not asking with me. I'm asking you with my folded hand, honesty with yourself. What are your weaknesses? Are you willing to accept that you are not perfect? That you could work on some areas to make yourself a better person? Are you willing to accept? Are you willing to diagnose those areas where you can work, you can put an effort? Do you think it's a threatening? Change that mindset. Have the courage to look at yourself honestly. It can change your life. Have the courage to look at yourself honestly. It will change your life. Somebody have login problem? Login. I don't think I can help you in login problem. Okay. So do a self-evaluation. Fourth, examine how you react to stressful situation. Whenever a stressful situation comes, it comes to everyone's life. Like the person have a login problem, stressful situation because he want to listen or she want to listen, she want to enter, but login problem. Stress built up. So think over it, examine how you react to stressful situation. Do you become upset every time there is a delay or something does not happen the way you want? Is it like this? Do you blame others or become angry at them, even what is not their fault? Keep your emotions under control when things go wrong. That's your test of controlling emotions. Keep your emotions under control when things don't go. So fourth issue, examine how you react to stressful situations. Examine it. You are the best person. I can't examine. I don't know. I will be knowing whatever you tell me or whatever I get from the facial expression. For verification, you are the person to do verification. Fifth one, take responsibility for your action. Your actions are your actions. You take responsibility. If you hit me, you take responsibility. If you hurt someone's feeling, apologize directly. Don't ignore what you did or avoid the person, which mostly we do. I say, even as a small child, if I do something wrong, I will say, let me go and apologize. But with honest mind. People are usually, you'll find, people are usually more willing to forgive and forget if you make an honest attempt to make things right. They may not say openly, I may not appreciate you openly, but if you make an honest attempt, let me tell you, somewhere in my heart, I will admit he made an attempt. That was not the intention. And last point, examine how your actions will affect others before you take those actions. So think about your actions before taking it. If your decision will impact others, put yourself in their place. How will they feel if you do this? You can take action, but put yourself in that place and think about how you'll feel if you do this thing. Would you want that experience? Yes or no? Maybe no. If you must take action, how can, if by chance you have taken action, how can you help others to deal with the effect? I've taken action. How can I help my friend to deal with that? There are the 6. There are so many other elements. I know I'm already feeling over that time. Anyway, I've taken 1 hour and I think 15 minutes or so. So, Chamini, just think over it. They are very small things. I can assure you, you will find a change. But the attempt should be made as honest. It should be honest. No. My last slide, I just want to know from you, question, how we are feeling now. How you are feeling now. Just last question. And you can answer on the chat. Or you can unmute and say whatever you feel like. No problem. How you're feeling now? Feeling. What churning is going on? When I'm feeling, I'm not saying what you're thinking. My question is not how you're thinking now. I'm saying what you're feeling. Not here. IQ. I'm bringing you here in my stomach. What churning is going on? How you're feeling now? Come on. Come on. I'm looking for somebody who says sad. Somebody said disturbed. If you say sad and disturbed, that means that some churning is going on. Mixed feeling. Happy and sad. Indifferent. Feeling, I'm not saying feeling good feeling. Good feelings are one, but the bad feelings also. That means you are close, you are touch with that. Feeling tense, feeling disturbed. Just feeling disturbed. What to do? Can I do? How can I do? That attempt to be made. So coming from IQ, from thinking to your emotional intelligence, basic level, emotion 20% I said, at 30%, emotional intelligence IQ will help you getting into or to surviving in the organization is emotional intelligence. Only then you can survive, sustain in the organization. Sustainability is a big thing. So thanks. I will stop it over here. If you have questions, you're most welcome. And if anyone would like to write me, it's my email. And if PPT of the organizer want, I can send the PPT to the organizers. They can share with the students.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Can you suggest some best book for how increase the EQ, sir?
Textbook.
Important books.
Yeah, there's a very good book by Emotional Intelligence at Work, EQ at Work, published by Sage. The author is Dalit Singh. That's a very handy book. It's not a very big book. It's about 180 pages book. It gives a very good amount of tips. And if you are still interested to go, then I have my own website known as, you can note down if you like, www.myemotionaljourney.com. myemotionaljourney.com. You can Google it, you can find this website.
Sir, I do have a question, sir.
Yeah.
सर आपने सर इमोशंस के बारे में काफी कुछ बताया सर। हमें दूसरे बच्चे के इमोशन से कैसे पता चल पाता है कि वो बच्चा डिप्रेस्ड है? जैसे सर अभी एक दोस्त था हमारा सेकेंड ईयर में सर था, वो बिल्कुल नॉर्मल बिहेव कर रहा था, मतलब सक्षम टुटेजा नाम था उसका। एंड अचानक से पता नहीं क्या होता है कि वो थर्ड फ्लोर पे जाता है एंड ही जंप, सर वो सुसाइड कर लेता है। सर किसी को, ना उसके टीचर्स को, ना उसके पेरेंट्स को, ना हम लोगों को जो उसके दोस्त थे, कोई भी उसके साइकोलॉजिकल चेंज कुछ भी नहीं आभास कर पाया कि उसके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा है। बस जस्ट ही
तो
सर
ये